My goodness gracious, we've reached just about the regular season finish line. Welcome to NFL Primetime Week 18, Boomer, Booger, and let us be the last to wish everybody a Happy New Year. Hope everybody behaved. I know you did.
Absolutely. New Year, Boom, it's good to bring it in with a few fireworks and make everything nice and festive.
Fireworks,
Yeah,
low key a little bit. Well, some traveled, never mind, some traveled long distances, some. Hey, look, we got a lot to go over. Playoffs, some spots were clinched, some spots were in the playoffs, but we didn't know exactly where. And as we speak here Sunday before they play the late game, there's NFC stuff still to be resolved. So as we speak, okay, and if you're watching this Tuesday or Wednesday, bear with us. Lions, Vikings playing for either number 1 or number 5. Either home field and a bye or road all the way, just about. Eagles, we know, are 2. The Rams going into the day, 3 leading the West, winning the West. Tampa Bay hoping to win the South. There we go. And then Washington and Green Bay, 6-7. A question mark. So Tampa has not won as we speak to start the day. Michael Penix, second start. Atlanta, home to Carolina. Team they should roll, right? Well, don't tell that to Bryce Young. He rolled into the end zone. Panthers? They lead 10-3. Nice second half for them. Really impressive. Penix, his second start. Lost overtime at Washington last week. Penix diving. Yes, he's in. We're tied at 10.
Love the Porsche, checking the field, Boom, and in the end, ball hits pylon, touchdown.
Moves a little better than maybe he looks, huh, Booger? Now, Bryce Young. Miles Sanders. That's good yardage for Miles, the one-time Eagles, 17-10. Panthers.
Yeah.
And Bijan Robinson said, let me put a little mustard on this. In the end zone, we're tied at 17. This game was a gas.
No doubt about it.
Well, I don't think Atlanta was really having a gas. Wait a minute, we're going to have to work really hard. Penix to Drake London. Touchdown. But take another look. It was almost a great play by both defender and London.
No doubt. Really good catch almost, but really good coverage there by Carolina.
So what does Penix do? They go after number 27, Shamar Bartholomew. Again, really good coverage. But, you know, they talk about more London games. That's a London game right there, touchdown.
This is what Drake London was supposed to be. A 50-50 ball, go up and get it. Right knee in, touchdown.
So Atlanta needs to win and hope Tampa loses. That's the deal. And Falcons lead 24-17. They have Ray Oive off the hands, into the hands of Michael Jackson. Panther defense making some plays. Off the pick. Panthers on 4th and 1. Bryce Young, no need to worry or treble. It's Tommy Tremble. Look at Bryce.
A little Steph Curry or a little Lamar Jackson, whichever one you want to choose.
Yeah, we're going to see them both. Right now, Young to David Moore. Panthers. Late third lead, 31-24. Early fourth. Penix, 3rd and 20. Good pocket. London. The Werewolf of London. We're tied at 31. He caught 10 for 187. Heck of a game. 4 minutes to go in the game. Young. Feeling pressure. Got to move. Got to keep moving. Moving into the end zone. Panthers lead 38-31. 52 seconds to go. First and goal from the 4, Atlanta. Robinson left. In. Tied at 38. We go to overtime. But like last week, well, they don't win the toss. There's Atlanta. Washington did the job. Jaden Daniels did last week. Could Young do the same? Moving. Finding. Jalen Diet Coker. Not quite in. Just short of the end zone. Caden Ellis saved the touchdown.
Yeah, really good job by Ellis, but the inevitable was coming, Boom.
Miles Sanders. Touchdown. Carolina. What a beautiful second half they had when benched Bryce Young a couple weeks. Coach Canales, this whole team looked like they were different. And Carolina knocks. Well, Atlanta had to win. So at the moment, even at this moment, they're out. 44-38. The Carolina Panthers win it. Well, they didn't know that because these games were close as heck. Afterwards, now we go to New Orleans at Tampa Bay, and the moment of silence, as well there should be, after everything, the ridiculous, awful tragedy in New Orleans late on New Year's Eve. Meanwhile, the Saints wearing the shirts, trying to play for their city. Spencer Rattler to Dante Pettis. Could they knock Tampa Bay out of the playoff hunt? 16-6 at the half. Baker Mayfield said, well, we're starting slowly. But as the pocket collapses, he took it upon himself, didn't he?
No doubt. Baker, the emotional leader of this team, and it came to play today, Boom.
And then Mayfield steps up. Payne Durham. Touchdown, Tampa Bay at home. Both of these teams were at home. Over the quote should have been lappers. 16-13, the Bucs trailing. Mayfield and Mike Evans could have been a big play. They'll have to punt it away, or so they thought. Jack Browning, Good thing he got the forward roller. It was a 14-yarder. It was one of the best 14-yarders we've seen. Browning just mishandled.
It was that type of day early on for the Bucs, Boom. They couldn't catch punts. They couldn't hit open receivers, but would they rebound?
Would they? 11 minutes to go in the game. Tampa Bay down 19-13, 4th and 8 at the Saints 42. Baker, Jalen McMillan, the good-looking rookie from Washington, down to the 10 now. No need.
Yeah, no need. He would get a 15-yard penalty for that, but that was the play of the game on 4th down, Baker making a throw.
And after another Bucs penalty, 1st and 18 from the 32, but look at Baker. To McMillan, the throw and the catch, Booger, exemplary.
No doubt. The two were outstanding all day. Catch the ball, left foot, tap the right toe, touchdown.
20-19 Tampa Bay. 3rd and 9, own end zone. Baker. My goodness, they're going to have to punt it away, and he gets to Mike Evans for an unbelievable 1st down. And then on 3rd and 14, this is the moxie the Bucs have shown all year when they need it most. Look at him go. 1st down, he doesn't slide. He waits till he's knocked down. 28-yard scramble, then Mayfield. Oh, Bucky Irving, Tampa Bay, Bucky Irving. He's in. The cannon's firing off on the Jolly Roger. 27-19. Saints have 4th and 5. Under a minute to go. Would they get the 1st down and keep it going? Shaking, Rattler, but not rolling. Incomplete. And so that allows the Bucs one more toss to Mike Evans. He needs 5 yards to become 11 straight years, 1,000 yards receiving, tying only the incomparable Jerry Rice. And you don't think the Bucs teammates appreciate what he's been for 11 years? You know.
Unbelievable. If you want to know what a player means to a team, just look at that celebration right there, Boom.
So the Buccaneers are in the playoffs. You kind of slept on this, right? 4 straight years they have won the NFC South. The Bucs finished 10-7. They beat the Saints 27-19, and Mike Evans into the history books.
I was hoping we'd get in style because I can't pass up history, and Coach Bowles didn't want to let it pass up or Liam. So I'm happy that they had me go out there and get that because it's been hard to do for 11 straight years, and to be tied with one of the, if not the greatest receiver of all time, it means a lot to me and my family.
You're looking at a great. You're looking at a Hall of Famer who's still obviously at the top of his game. So the Bucs really for 3 quarters were kind of unlike them down the stretch, underwater a little bit. And I don't mean to make fun of it in the Tampa Bay area. But Tampa Bay, they were injured a lot this year. You never heard them complain. 4-2, then 0-4, and they were a couple behind Atlanta, but they finished 6-1 to win the division again. They're sleepy, dangerous, I think.
No doubt, Boom. And you got to give Todd Bowles and his staff a lot of credit. They would do it a 4-game losing streak, injuries to some of their top players, and in the end, they win the division for the 4th straight year. 2 with Baker Mayfield as the starting quarterback. And I think they're going to be happy about that. They got Mike Evans the record. 11 straight years. He was Jason Light's first draft pick, a Hall of Fame player. But if Todd Bowles is going to be honest, his team didn't play well today. And as they enter this tournament, they have to be ready to figure out how do they play better, offensively and defensively. They're going to have to score some points. The offense was sluggish today, and I think in the end, they're going to be happy that they're in the tournament. But they got to figure out, can we play our best football at home? Okay, can we have a team come into Tampa Bay and we play our best football? That will be required. Can they do it? We'll see.
Whitehead, safety, hurt, auto accident, so he's not playing. Other injury. Winfield, when will he
we don't
get
know
back?
if he's going to be in.
But again, they don't make excuses. No. Here's the thing to remember about the Bucs. They beat Detroit. They beat Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They almost beat the Chiefs. They've beaten Washington.
Yeah.
So this isn't, how they played in that division. Oh, no.
No.
They can play with the big boys when they're playing their best.
When they're playing their best, but their best is going to be required.
That's right. And we'll line up what the playoffs are in a moment. But now the Eagles, kind of the only team that you knew about that was the 2 seed and nothing changed. Well, Saquon Barkley, he would not play. You know that. Needed 101 yards to set the new single-season rushing mark. Brian Daboll, Giants, said, okay, good, we don't have to play him today. But you have to play Tanner McKee. You know, we had Browning in, but Tanner was good, right? Then McKee, Dallas Goedert. Then McKee to Aeneas Smith. Touchdown Eagles? 7-0. Tanner McKee to Aeneas Smith. Just like you knew it would happen. Drew Lock, big game last week. Malik Neighbors, the rookie. No. Good defense. 10-0 Philly at the half. 10-3 fourth quarter. McKee, third-string quarterback. Hurts, hopefully back from concussion next week. E.J. Jenkins for a touchdown. 17-3 fly. Eagles fly. Under 11. Lock. To Neighbors. Look at him and then whee! Into the end zone. Single-season record of 109 catches, franchise record. They've only been around 100 years, the Giants.
Outstanding body control by Malik Neighbors, Boom. Outstanding rookie year by him also.
17-10. It's a one-score game. Lock looking for a reservation to Jalen Hyatt. But the room was blocked, all right?
Not quite ready.
It wasn't ready.
Wasn't ready.
Come back in a couple hours. Sidney Brown does it. And sometimes this happens. Oh, yeah, they're having fun at Philly. The Philadelphia Eagles, they win it over the Giants, 20-13. The Giants end with only 3 wins. We'll talk about draft picks in a moment. Philadelphia, 14-3 as the number 2 seed, which we already knew. That was the only thing we knew in the NFC going into the day. Now the Bears at the Packers. What would the Pack end up? Could they be 6? Could they be 7? This is a really good team. And we know that the Packers have beaten the Bears 11 straight. They've beaten them, 26 out of 29. At the bottom of your screen, I'm going to catch it. No, I'm not! The Bears pulling everything out. Look at this at the top of your screen. Josh Blackwell. No one was there. Once every few years, you pull it out, and this works. Bears? We're leading in Lambeau.
Boom, those tricky Bears. And the reason this works, DJ Moore acts as if he's catching the ball, attracts the attention. Meanwhile, the ball is going to the other side of the field. Those tricky Bears pulled it off.
Oh, why not? I mean, after the year they've lost 10 in a row, period. Why not? Christian Watson. And it's natural turf. It just happened, right?
It's the thing you don't want to see, Boom. A non-contact injury, hand over face. We hope he's okay for the playoffs.
Knee injury. And then Jordan Love dumps it off to Josh Jacobs, but he's going to leave after an 8-yard pickup, holding his elbow. We'll hear from him in a moment, but he would not return. Malik Willis would step in for Green Bay, who won 2 starts earlier this year for Coach LaFleur. DJ Moore with the Bears up 14-13 on the edge. Look at them turn it around. And the Packers can't stop him. 32 yards. The Bears, they haven't won in that building since 2015. 21-13 Chicago, under 5 to go. Malik Willis. The Malik Heath. The Bears have sprung Malik, and it's 41 yards. And now in the next play, Emmanuel Wilson bouncing, scoring. 21 yards. They go for 2. They don't get it. It's a 21-19 Chicago. Under 2 to go. Carrington Valentine. Oh, no. So this is the Bears against the Packers when they're going to win. Really? Oh, no. Carrington Valentine forced it. Javon Bullard recovered it.
Really good job putting helmet on ball. Ball pops loose. Fumble.
And so, 55 yards. Brandon McManus. It's one of those low driving 4-irons, but it's good. 22-21 Pack.
When in doubt, Boom, play the fade. That's what I was told.
Yeah, well, 4-iron. Last time I had a 4-iron, I think I was 40. 15 seconds left. Caleb Williams to more tick. The Bears going to fumble the last few seconds like they have so often this year. Spike it! Spike! Ah. Okay. Whew. So that brings Cairo Santos on. Remember earlier this year, field goal blocked to beat the Packers? Not this time! There is a Santa Claus. The Bears have beaten the Pack. They lost 10 in a row this year. They lost 11 in a row to them. And so the Chicago Bears, professional football team, as you like to point out, getting paid to.
No question.
We're going to play, darn it. they've been better they started 4-2. Okay, it didn't go well, but they end on a good note. As for Jordan Love, after talking with team doctors, what did they think about your elbow?
They said it should. They did. I'm not sure when, but I think it's feeling better. Yeah, I mean, by the time I can start feeling my hand again, I would definitely be trying to get out there. I think it just comes down to if I can throw or not, grip the ball, things like that. So, once some feelings started coming back, I would try and push it for sure.
So the Pack end 11-6, a very dangerous 7th seed, but all this was going on. Would Washington be able to move up Dan Quinn's team in the playoffs? Mike McCarthy with or him. Contract expires in about a week at Dallas. Jaden Daniels, the rookie. Micah Parsons, 4th player to have double-digit sacks in each of his first 4 years in the league.
One of the truly great defensive players in our league, Boone.
2.5 sacks today, Booger, for Parsons. Diami Brown gets the handoff. Whoa, tricky Commanders. Olamide Zaccheaus, but they can't connect. They kick a field goal, 6-3 Dallas. 24 seconds left first half. Trey Lance. Cooper Rush started, but Trey Lance, a little short to Rico Dowdle. That didn't quite boil enough, and the Cowboys lead 6-3 at the half. Jaden Daniels, he's done. Marcus Mariota, he's in for the Commanders. One-time starter in the league, as you know, under 6 minutes to go in the third. 9-3 Dallas Mariota. This one to Zaccheaus. That looked like been at it all year, Booger.
A really good job on the outside. Zaccheaus with a great catch.
30 yards, and then Mariota to Zach Ertz in the end zone, and the Commanders lead 10-9 over their arch rivals. Under 12 to go in the game. Mariota. Well, he can do this. He can run, he can score, and the Commanders lead 16-12. Then Lance, play action. That would be a good pocket. And that would be a completion of 30 yards to Jalen Tolbert.
And one of the better throws for Trey Lance this season, Boom, right there.
7 minutes to go in the game. Dowdle. No Dowdle about it. It's a touchdown. The Cowboys lead 19-16. Under a minute to go in the game. 3rd and 2 midfield Commanders. Mariota. They got him. No, they got him. No, they get him. No, wait! That's a heck of a run. Look at that. Mariota, he's doing it. But he stopped short. 4th and 1, 33. They needed 1, and they're going to get 33 yards. Parsons go, wow. 6 seconds left. Game on line. As we say in the islands, haole makahiki ho. It means Happy New Year to Terry McLaurin. What a year he's had. Mariota 15 of 18, another last-second win. Washington.
In the red zone, Boom, throw it up high. Terry McLaurin reminding us again he's one of the great receivers in this league.
Well, they clinched the 6th seed, not the 7. We'll set it all up for you. They'll be going to Tampa, but the Commanders win it 23-19. Usually Jaden Daniels. Last 30 seconds, overtime. This time it's Mariota. So there's something going on in Washington. Congratulations to them. As for what's going on in Dallas, look, it's Sunday evening. There may be nothing happen this week to one of the classy coaches in the league, Mike McCarthy. But after the game, Jerry Jones asked about his, lame duck head coach.
Mike's one of the best coaches that I think there is. He was made the coach here because I thought that, and he's done absolutely nothing to diminish my opinion of him as a coach.
I'm definitely in a position with Jerry to move the program forward. I mean, there's no question about that in my mind. So that's why these conversations need to happen here in the near future.
It's a weird thing to say, but again, the show runs a Wednesday night. No one will be surprised if he stays. No one will be surprised if maybe he doesn't, but we'll see. But we want to segue into the Chicago Bears because, Booger, we know that job is up. And I think it's a gold mine. Now, that sounds goofy. The Bears, they haven't won. They don't win that often for a long time. Every team in the division has won double digits except for them. But a veteran coach, and I'm only saying like Mike McCarthy, like Pete Carroll, like former Bear Ron Rivera, right? Like Mike Vrabel. They cannot, in my opinion, take a chance at a hot assistant. They need someone that's done this before and can change culture because there's a long way to go, but they have a quarterback to start working with.
No doubt. There's this narrative when you hire a coach that you got to get the young play caller, the guy that can call the plays, that can move the X and O's around. And to your point, they need a veteran leader of men. somebody to come in that organization and set the organization straight. That organization has been in turmoil for a long time. It's always felt like it's a hidden gem, it's a gold mine. Who's going to be the right guy to come in there and lead the organization? Not lead the quarterback, not lead the offense or the defense. Who can come in there and lead the entire organization and hire the right people to lead the different departments? I think that's what they need. The young quarterback, he made progress, Boom, still a long way to go. I think there's so many pieces on that team offensively, defensively. They're young. They need somebody to shape, somebody to mold them. They need an authoritative figure, and it just might be a veteran head coach.
Real quickly, Washington at Tampa Bay. They played week 1. That was when Jalen had the helmet knocked off, and he came up smiling. I said, this kid might be okay. Now, number 7, Green Bay. At number 2, Philadelphia. Next weekend, as we speak, we don't know when. Very interesting. They will play twice this winter. Now, that sounds like a stupid thing to say. But when they played in Brazil, it was winter in Brazil, okay, in September. And now they're playing in the real winter in Philadelphia. Might be a tad colder here. Philly won it. This is a dangerous number 7 seed, Green Bay. Everybody agreed, 11-win, 7th seed. But Philadelphia, we know they created a bye for themselves. Agree, disagree? They felt right to them. The line, Saquon, Jalen Hurts, we hope he's healthy. This is a different team coming in the playoffs than they were last year at this time.
No doubt, Boom. And I think this game comes down to a couple things. Number one, Green Bay's the youngest team in football still. They don't know what they don't know. And they're just talented enough. And on top of that, think about this. They were so young last year, they went into Dallas and stomped the Cowboys last year. So they're not going to come into Philly and be scared. But if you're Green Bay and you're your defensive coordinator, Jeff Hafley, you're going against the Eagles. Can you take a team that wants to run the football with Saquon Barkley and put the onus on the quarterback? Make Jalen Hurts beat you throwing the ball to A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. Whichever quarterback plays the best in this game is going to win the football game, and I can't wait to watch it, Boom.
Little thing when you watch the game, Green Bay, one of the highest scoring teams first quarter. Quarters 2 through 4, Philadelphia, one of the highest scoring teams. Just kind of file it away. All right, AFC playoff picture going into Saturday, okay? So we know that Kansas City had the bye, and they rested a lot of folks, as you'll see. And Buffalo is the 2. Would Baltimore, we're going into Saturday, hold off Pittsburgh to win their division, the North, and then the South, Houston was already in. So where would Pittsburgh end up? Where would the Chargers end up? And could the Broncos win and get in, or would Miami and Cincinnati stay left? So here's how, after New Year's week, you might have missed a few. Is that Ray Lewis? No, that's Lamar coming out at the big crab cake. Bailey, unzappy hour. Pick 6. He started for Cleveland. Nate Wiggins scores. Ravens up 7-0. Lamar. There's the no-look. What? To Rashad Bateman.
And just like Steph Curry, Boom, you throw it, you already know you put the one finger in the air.
By the way, did we tell you Derrick Henry, especially running behind Stanley on the left side of the line, is pretty good?
When in doubt, Boom, they're going to give it to Henry going left behind Stanley. You've said it all year long, and they did it again.
Over 1,900 yards, only the 11th time that has happened. He's the only guy to do it twice. Twice, he's run over 1,900 yards. So the Ravens win the division. All right, but the Bengals need to stay alive and hope for some help. Mike Tomlin, when the game started, went, all right, but I need my team 0-3 the last 3 to get going against Joe Burrow. First drive, Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase like it's been all year.
It's the best combination in football this year, Boom.
And then Najee Harris, although Pittsburgh, they cut the lead to 10-7, but 3 quarters, they were sluggish. Burrow, Chase, the triple crown. That's only been done a handful of times by some of the best ever in the game. And yards, touchdowns, catches, you get it. And then, Freiermuth makes it 19-14. Last chance, Pickens had many drops. Freiermuth usually great-handed on 4th down from Russell Wilson. Pittsburgh offense
left a lot
in their own quagmire.
Yeah, they left a lot to be desired offensively, Boom.
So the Bengals win 19-17. They end their regular season winners of 5 in a row. The Steelers are in. They don't win the division. They're wild card. They end the regular season losing 4 straight. Now, Dolphins will go in chronological. They got to win and hope Denver loses. No Tua. Hot Rod Huntley starting against a guy you might have heard of. There's Calais Campbell. Aaron Rodgers. Would this be the end of a great 17-year career for Calais Campbell? We'll see. Rodgers to Devontae. Well, what's going on here? But it's bobbled and intercepted by Terrell Dodson. Rodgers, last week, rough.
Yeah.
How would he do it? Miami gets a field goal off the pick. Rodgers, to Adams. We like wide receivers tossing the ball today to Rodgers. I see nothing. Oh, my goodness. He didn't see Jalen Ramsey coming, did he?
A whole lot of nothing on that play. That's what that was.
J.E. In the first 6-0 Miami, Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, Ramsey, juke, and into the red zone, deep red zone, go the Jets. At home, Miami in the cold. Could they win in the cold? They never do it, but they have the lead, but not now. Rodgers and Tyler Conklin, and that's congratulations to him. 500 career touchdown passes. That is rarefied air. Way to go. Hot Rod Huntley, Hassan Reddick, Will McDonald IV. Huntley fumbles. Quincy This was the Jets defense that was supposed to contend for the division and get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, haven't seen it since they fired the head coach.
No, well, that's funny how that works, isn't it? Now, Rodgers, wait a minute. I want all my Packers. Like Lounge Lazard, Alan Lazard, 15-6, an odd score, the Jets. 15-6, a little over 12 to go, 18-13. Hit me. Rodgers, Lazard. Wasn't it supposed to look like this?
Oh,
Wasn't it supposed to look like this? 43-yard game. Remember, the Jets started 2-1. They've only won 2 since. But Rodgers. Oh, yeah, there's that's a tough grab by Devontae. Touchdown, potentially final time. I would think certainly as Jets. Who knows where they go forward. But the Jets go on to beat Miami 32-20. So Miami out of the playoff hunt. Now, so you know, look, these 2 years with the Jets have been rough. Of course, he got hurt a year ago. We all know nobody's fault this year, a disaster. They may put themselves 2 more years behind the 8 ball, but Aaron Rodgers' career, 5th all-time in touchdown passes, over 500. Almost 63,000 yards, 7th all-time. Completions over 5,300, 7th. And, of course, 4 MVPs, Super Bowl MVP for career. Hard to top what he has done. So, Broncos win, they're in. They're home. The Chiefs spent 4 hours on the tarmac Saturday in icy Kansas City before they get into Denver. No Mahomes, no a lot of Chiefs. But Andy Reid last year won a game like this with Blaine Gabbert. But Broncos say with trick play, Bo Nix, Marvin Mims Jr. right out of the gates. Sean Payton, he has many pages in his playbook, as does Andy. Andy Reid going for his 300th lifetime win, but Denver is going for the playoffs, and that motivation, you're seeing it. What are your Cortland Suttons had?
No doubt, unbelievable connection between he and Bo Nix.
And Bo Nix was amazing. Bo Nix sidesteps the rush, hits Sutton, 14-0 Broncos in the old Orange Crush uniforms. Tommy, I see it. Tommy, Randy Gradishaw, Reuben Carter, Louis Wright. I could go on and on and on. The Orange Crush. Then Nix to Devon Vele. That's Vele Mignon with that cat.
No doubt, Boom. Maybe we call it filet mignon tips as many times as the ball was
Yeah,
tipped.
very, very
Yeah.
Filet tips. Hey, the show writes itself. Sometimes we don't know how it does it. Then Bo Nix. You know who he looked like today, and there's a reason I'm saying it? Oh! To Javonte Williams would hold on to review, a forward pass. They call it. He looked kind of like a young Josh Allen. By the way, I'm just saying for, a few quarters here.
Be careful.
I am careful. Don't worry. Josh knows you can do it. Nix, Sutton, 32 yards. That's incentives there. The Broncos kick up at 24-0 over the Chiefs. It looks like wrong. Right?
Yeah, it does.
Chiefs, of course, going in 15-1 and everything locked up. Nix, Vele parking, Vele Mignon, 32 yards. Nix to Mims, the word. They were swinging it every which way but loose, weren't they?
Great performance, Boom, by the Broncos. I can't tell you how impressed I am with young Bo Nix. He was absolutely outstanding today.
Well, and the Chiefs give him all hats off, and the Broncos in the playoffs for the first time since Peyton Manning, and they won the Super Bowl in 2015, 38-0. Bo Nix, 29 touchdown passes this season, second most all-time by a rookie. Herbert had 31. After the game, Sean Payton, Broncos, almost 500 yards of offense going to the playoffs.
When you can have some success, then you can have some confidence, and then it becomes something that can repeat itself. It's hard to have confidence if you haven't really demonstrated it yet. And so we began to see young players thrive in certain positions. Some veterans, some key veterans come in and fill in roles for us. So it was a number of different transactions that worked out, and I'm proud of them.
He identified his guy. He drafted Bo Nix. It didn't start great, but the Denver Broncos, after last year's stud booger in the playoffs, Sean Payton, we know, one of the best coaches, and he has his team clicking in year 2 there.
No doubt, Boom. And this goes back to the spring. Sean Payton gave Bo Nix a playbook one night. The next morning, he brought him out for a workout. He recited everything from the playbook the next day, and he threw the football. That's when he knew he had his guy, which allowed him to have this season that he's had so far. Now, as they go into the postseason, they're in at Buffalo. And I think everything that they do now, Boom, is icing on the cake, because this has been a tremendous year for the Denver Broncos. They have their quarterback of the future, and Sean Payton is just good enough to get this young team to play as they go into Buffalo, who all the pressure is going to be on the Buffalo Bills in this game.
Well, the one thing to review about Buffalo real quickly is that coming in the year, will they win? Well, they've lost a lot of the names you know.
Yeah.
Will Josh Allen be able to carry the whole load, which is why he's the forerunner for the MVP? They only have one other Pro Bowler on the whole team other than Josh, and that was Dawkins, the tackle. Most points they've scored, they have 30 and 30 touchdowns, undefeated at home. So Broncos won't be bothered by the weather. They might be bothered by the Bills.
I'll say this about the Buffalo Bills. Some of the stars are gone, but the team is better this year. This is the best team that I think they've accumulated to go into the postseason to get a chance to win a Super Bowl.
Every week, it's not a different game plan, but it's not the same.
Exactly, yes.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting as we head to the playoffs. The Bills resting most, except Josh Allen didn't rest at New England because, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Gerard Mayo, he must have already known. And the Patriots, if they lose, the number 1 draft pick, Drake May taken down by Von Miller, who gets incentives. He got the sack. Josh Allen, he started 105 straight games at quarterback. That's the longest streak. He was in there on the first snap, and then that's enough.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, Boom.
I like it.
Keep the streak alive.
And May now on the sidelines. He only played the very beginning, and it's Bazooka Joe Milton, but watch this. Whee! He's a quarterback. 7-0.
I remember the days I could do that, Boom.
I never tried it unless there was a heavy mattress. 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. Bazooka Joe Milton.
Wow.
Bang! Bazooka Joe to shake your bootay. Kayshon Boutte, 48 yards, 14-10. New England at home. Go Pats. But please acquire Travis. He can play both ways, right? Mike White. Been the practice squad quarterback. Trubisky then came in, then White. Oh, Miles Battle breaks it up. Patriots defense, they played well in Buffalo a couple weeks ago for Gerard Mayo. And then 4th down. So Gerard Mayo, longtime Patriot contributor to some of their great teams, wins his last game and was fired immediately after the game. It sounds cold-blooded. It doesn't come out this way at all. The Patriots win 23-16. Robert Kraft, and again, it's a long statement. If you read the whole thing, you know what he certainly thinks of Gerard Mayo. For me personally, this was one of the hardest decisions I've ever made because they've handpicked him to succeed. Bill Belichick, of course. Unfortunately, the trajectory of our team's performances throughout the season did not ascend as I had hoped. I still believe Gerard will be a successful head coach in the league. I wish him and his family nothing but success for the future. So, look, we have a firing. It seems when it happens on Sunday night, it seems that's ridiculous. I mean, Snyder fired Jim Zorn on the plane. I could go on and on and on, right? But this doesn't seem that way, and I know it was painful. I'm a little surprised. But not totally, are you?
Yeah, not totally surprised, Boom. I think when I look at this, here's what I come to. Gerard Mayo was given a chance. and not an opportunity. And here's the difference. When someone gives you a chance, you're not allowed to grow or make mistakes. You get this one time where you can succeed or fail. He failed. If he was given an opportunity, he would have so much time to learn, to grow, to make mistakes, to come back from those mistakes. He was not and is not given that in this situation. So, and I think it's a different time for the Pats. Robert Kraft, the owner, Jonathan, they want to win right now. They don't have time for Jerod Mayo to grow and learn. And so I think, although they did not want to fire him based on their expectations, they had no choice.
Well, they made their choice, so we'll see. They can start talking to. I mean, look, we're just speculating as this has all just happened. You know, Mike Vrabel will certainly be a candidate, longtime Patriot, through their Super Bowl glory years, et cetera. Certainly knows what to do as a head coach. But there'll be other. I mean, we'll see. But they can get started on this right away.
Yes.
You know, families, it's a tough time. Black Monday, Black Tuesday coming up with coaches, assistant coaches, families. We think of all of them. And Jerod Mayo can hold his head up because he's a longtime proud Patriot. All right, now, Texans, they're stumbling, right? After a 5-1 start, they need to beat somebody. And this is a confusing game because they're playing Tennessee. Oh, wait a minute. Houston against Houston. Houston Texans against the Houston Oilers. Remember the Oilers moved to Tennessee? If you're old like me, they had a guy named Earl Campbell once upon a time. Okay. Joe Mixon up the middle. He had 1,000 yards rushing. Texans moved the chains. Stroud started. Nico Collins, first drive, great body control, moving the chains. They got to get something going. They did not look good over the Christmas holiday for sure. And now Stroud to Collins, 1,000 yards receiving, fourth Texan to do it. D-Hop in there. Texans lead at 7-0. Now, Damian Pierce finds room, and he could go all the way. Those oil derricks on the helmet obviously holding the team back. They can't quite get him. It's 92 yards. Texans missed the extra point. Look at Joe Mixon happy for Pierce.
Teammates always excited for each other.
16-3. Will Levis. Oh, another big man, Derek Barnett. He's going to score twice this year. It's the big man weekend. Pierce, Baltimore, and Barnett.
Hey, it is a beautiful sight when anybody over 250 shows athleticism and scores a touchdown.
So Houston 23, Houston 14, and the Tennessee Titans have earned, in quotes, the overall first draft pick. They are on the clock. Here's the top 5. We know it now. Titans first, Browns second, Giants third, Patriots fourth, Jaguars fifth. Now, Chargers, Raiders. Could the Chargers affect their seeding? They're in for Jim Harbaugh. What a first year he's had there. Last year, the Chargers came into this building and hung 63, and everybody got fired. Well, so they're in Las Vegas. Aiden O'Connell, Jacoby Myers. Not like a outfield catch.
Yeah,
10-3.
catch.
10-9 Raiders. Justin Herbert, DJ Chark. Touchdown, 17-10. They make a 2-point conversion. 20-10 third quarter. O'Connell to Brock Bowers. Why are we showing this? Because 110 times he's caught the ball this year, most by a rookie in NFL history at any position, including left tackle. Drive would end up resulting in a field goal. I just had to put it in. 20-13 Chargers fourth quarter. Herbert, play action. Ooh, he's got the action. Long legs. 41-yard gain for him.
6'6", boom, great athleticism. Look at him smile. He knows he almost scored.
And then from the 2, Herbert to Will Dissly. He's open. 27-13 Chargers. You know, they're playing again. They just keep it at the pace that they like. But then Herbert to Quentin Johnson. So wait a minute. Johnson caught 13 for 186 today.
That's just an unbelievable catch, boom. To tip it with the left hand back to himself. He's got to be more consistent with the routine catch.
You know, there are a couple games the Chargers have been scoring some points. You know, they legal Deflategate earlier in the year, but winning games. Hassan Haskins gets it, and who knows if Antonio Pierce, who knows what the Raiders are going to do going forward. They had won 2 in a row, but they lost it. And 34-20, the Chargers win. So now we know this. In the AFC, we don't know what went. Chiefs 5. 7 Broncos and 2 Bills, we told you. 6 Steelers next weekend at 3 Ravens. They meet yet again. Only Hallis and Lambeau have met more than Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh. 5 Chargers at 4 Texans. The Chargers are a hotter team than Houston at the moment. Now back to NFC, because where would the Rams be? Would they be 3 or would they be 4? Matthew Stafford's going to sit, and that allows Jimmy Garoppolo to start. But Geno Smith said, Coach Mike McDonald, want to get my guys what they need, and we're going to try to win 10 games. In first year as a head coach, DK Metcalf touchdown, 17-13 Seahawks at the half.
Really good job by stepping up Geno, getting that ball down in the field, touchdown.
Smith to Jackson, Smith, and Jigba. Now, he needed 5 to set a Seahawks single-season record-breaking Lockett's individual record. Look at this, but this is he finds him. He laterals to Charbonnet. You know what? It's the last day. Might as well use everything in the playbook. They'll have to study it next year. Then Geno to it's a barn burner. A.J. Barner, 24-16 Seahawks. Fourth quarter, under 13 to go, 24-16. Jimmy Garoppolo. He was ball pretty sharply today, Booger, didn't he? I thought. Tyler Johnson, touchdown. They don't get 2, 24-22 Seattle. Now the Rams have kicked the field goal, 25-24. Smith. That hurt, but it's nice. Noah Fant, touchdown.
Unbelievable throw. High in the red zone. Fant goes up and gets it, holds on to the football, boom, touchdown.
Suing Rams drive, 21 seconds to go. 4th and 3. L.A. Garoppolo, Jordan Whittington. It doesn't work. Geno. And the Seahawks win it. They won the 10th game this year for rookie head coach Mike McDonald. Geno threw for 4,320 yards, so that's certainly his own Seahawk record that he broke. And one thing I will say is that only Chuck Knox and Mike Holmgren and Mike McDonald had a winning record their first year as a Seahawk coach. Those are pretty good names. So now we know, other than the 1-5 game tonight, either the Lions or the Vikings will get a bye. The Packers are at the Eagles, we talked about. The Commanders, 6 at the Buccaneers, we talked about a little bit. Lions or the Vikings, the loser, will be 4 at the Rams. One thing I'll say for the Rams, they played the Lions tight in the playoffs and early this year, and they beat the Vikings on a Thursday night this year. And the Rams, well, they were 9-2, so they finished 9-3, but that will be a lot to handle. And then there's the Jags and the Colts. Doug Peterson, will this be very classy Super Bowl winner in Philly? Will this be his final game? We'll find out. Will Joe Flacco keep playing next year? He has the arm. That's Alec Pierce for a touchdown. Under 2 to go. Cam Little, just what you want. A 53-yarder to send the game between the Jags and the Colts to overtime. But on 4th and 22, Mac Jones, that would be short. Although,
short.
4th and 22, not these Colts. Finish 8-9. I find them a huge disappointment.
Very, very much so. Always around at 8-9, 9-8, just never quite bad enough or good enough.
And so the Jaguars finish 4-13, one of the top 5 picking, not the way they expected to be this year. The Pastronaut, Josh Dobbs, starting for the injured Brock Purdy, San Francisco. Dobbs to Kyle Juszczyk from Harvard, still doing it. Cards lead against San Francisco, cut to 26-24, but Michael Carter finds the end zone, 33-24 Arizona. Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr. There was supposed to be more of that this year. Maybe there'll be more of that in year 2. Arizona, well, they lay it in on the 49ers, who gave it everything they could against the Lions, but you had a feeling this would not go great. And the Cardinals win 47-24. Now, we got to tell you, what about us in the playoffs? What do you think, we're done? Who are those? Well, one guy, the guy on the right is really good looking. Who are these dudes? NFL primetime on ESPN Plus. After the late games, they go late on Saturday, late on Sunday. We're here for both the wild card round and the divisional round. Don't worry, we ain't going anywhere. Whew! That was a lot to squeeze in, partner. Good thing we brought a shoehorn.
Oh,
right?
I love it.
You never know what you need to bring in your bag of tricks here, Felix the cat. All right, so Now we're going to calm down. We're going to look at the matchups again. Understand, again, we apologize. As we do this, and Scotty will have the highlights later, we don't know if Detroit has won at home against Minnesota or Minnesota has gone on the road. So with that, that's why, obviously, the winner of that game gets the bye in the NFC. The loser of that game goes to the 5 slot, and they'll be at the Rams. What we do know, we talked about the Packers and the Eagles playing twice in the winter. Brazil winter and Philadelphia winter, all right? We've talked about that game. We haven't really jumped in deeply on the 6 Commanders at the 3 Buccaneers. We can say this. Right below the top of the charts, NFC quarterbacks, are these 2 quarterbacks, right? Baker Mayfield at home, hot team, 6-1 down the stretch, they won 10. Jaden Daniels, rookie. Commanders won 5 in a row to finish the season. They won 12 games. This has the potential to be a barn burner in the pure sense of the word, a cannonball shot off the Jolly Rogers for both teams. Don't you think? They played them week 1. There were a lot of points, but that was Jaden's first game.
And no doubt, and that was so long ago, but there are some things you can learn. For the Buccaneers, they had Chris Godwin. Baker Mayfield played outstanding, and their offense was running through Baker Mayfield. They weren't running the football quite as well as they are throughout the season. For the Commanders, it was Jaden Daniels' first game, boom. He accounted for 272 yards and 2 touchdowns, rushed for 86 yards. Now, as you look forward to this matchup, I think if you're Tampa Bay, you got to figure out how to run the football because the running game has been a great part of your offense. No Chris Godwin, so it's going to be up to Mike Evans and some of the other guys to step up. The health of their tight end, Cade Otton, who's had a great season so far. Is he going to be healthy for this game? And if you're the Commanders, Jaden Daniels running the football. He's got to be a dual-threat quarterback like he's been all year long, and Tampa's going to try to take that away. So can he sit in the pocket and throw the football to Terry McLaurin? This matchup, I don't think is going to mirror the first matchup because both teams are a bit different. However, the quarterbacks are the same, and both of them still have to play well.
Well, I mean, going into the week, just if you're looking at yards, which doesn't tell you everything, Tampa Bay, the 3rd-ranked offense in yards. Washington, the 4th-ranked offense. A lot of people would not know that, right? That's overall. I think you can run it on Washington a little better than you can pass it on Washington.
Yes.
But that's going to be an underrated, fun game between 2 hot teams. As we said, there's still things in order, so we don't know how to handicap the Rams game. We don't know who they're playing. And, of course, either Lions or Vikings get the number 1 seed. Scott will have that in a moment. AFC, to review, we already knew. Kansas City was number 1. They lost 15-2. They'll take it. Although it'll sting a little, but not for very long. This big loss to the Broncos. They'll have a few days off. So Broncos at Bills. We talked about that before in the show. We did not really delve into these 2 matchups. 6 Steelers at 3 Ravens. 2 teams, 2 coaches that know each other like the back of their hand. And the Los Angeles Chargers, so both Harbaughs in the playoffs, but not playing each other, not at the moment, at the Texans. So both of these games feature a Steeler team that was 0-4, so stumbling booger. Yeah. We'll do that game first, but the other one is Houston, the second half of the year. They were under 500. So Baltimore is playing, everyone can see it, by far and away their best football of the season. Derrick Henry, would he slow down? Well, traditionally he picks up in December and January, and he had 1,900 yards. Lamar, 40 touchdowns, or 4 picks, or whatever. And he ran for 900, he threw for 4,000. What hasn't he done? And the defense, forget the rankings, much, much better. They're coming in flying. Can Pittsburgh, we wondered all year, because usually they're coming on strong at the end to make the playoffs, right, Booger? They were in first most of the season. They're stumbling because they haven't quite got the turnovers that they relied on all year, but in one game they could. And offensively, they're sluggish, and so therefore they can't put the game the way they want to play it. They played many of those like that at the Ravens like this. As soon as Baltimore gets the scoring up, Pittsburgh's going to have too much trouble.
Yeah, no doubt. You often hear the phrase styles make fights. Well, it depends on what type of style this game is played in. If this game is a slugfest, a low-scoring game, that favors the Pittsburgh Steelers. If you're the Baltimore Ravens, you have the more explosive team. You can run the football with Derrick Henry. We don't know about the health of Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, the electric Lamar Jackson. Andrews, Likely. There's so many weapons for Baltimore. They want to get this game into a track meet, 25, 30 points, because Pittsburgh, we don't know if Pittsburgh can score that many points. And so the style of this game will dictate and determine who wins this game. If you're Pittsburgh, you got to figure out what's wrong with your offense, because it's dink and dunk or throw it deep. Can Russell Wilson figure out a way to get Freiermuth involved, to get other guys involved in the middle of the field? We will know early on how this game is going to be played, and this game can be dictated based on the score. I don't need to see the game. If you tell me the game has a combined 65 points, I'm going to tell you Baltimore wins. If you tell me the game is 19, 20 points, that game favors Pittsburgh.
Absolutely. Pittsburgh won one of those earlier in the year, and of course Baltimore just a couple of weeks ago won pretty handily. So we'll see. It's at the Big Crab Cake, so they face off for the third time this year. Chargers with 11 wins. Jim Harbaugh, they can score with Herbert, but they've buttoned up so many things. The Chargers, they do so many little things beautifully. Yeah, they will be better next year, but we're not worried about next year. They're in the playoffs at a Texans team that gets home field, but after a 5-1 start, as we said, below 500 for the remainder of the year. That's about a toss-up because the game's at Houston. Otherwise, it would be a lean to L.A.
It feels like a toss-up, Boom, but if you just look at the teams on the surface, Houston trying to find their way. The offense hasn't looked good. Something's been amiss with C.J. Stroud throughout this season. We have so many questions with this Houston team. You talked about the Chargers. We know who they are. Greg Roman, Jim Harbaugh, we're going to run the football. We're going to take the game out of the quarterback's hands so much. That's what he said when he took the job. My job is to take some of the pressure off the quarterback. He's going to do that. And then, in turn, the quarterback will make some of those big plays. So I think if you're the Texans, can you figure out how to put this offense back together? If you're the Chargers, just continue doing what you're doing. Quentin Johnston has got to catch the football. He's got to be consistent. He did today, but he's got to be consistent in the playoff. You're not going to get multiple opportunities to make the same catch. In the end, Boom, I think the onus is on Houston. Can they revert back to the Houston we thought they were going to be? They won the division, but that's not saying a lot in the South. Can C.J. Stroud come back to the guy who we thought he was going to be, which is accurate, playmaker at the position, getting people involved down the field? I think that'll be the key to this game.
Yeah, we know they've had some, injuries at the wideout, but that's not the point. Yeah. They didn't run the ball as well down the stretch.
Exactly.
Can those defensive ends wreak havoc on the Chargers and the passing game?
Yes.
They're going to need them to come
up big. No doubt about it.
Both of the teams pretty good in the turnover department. So which team slips up? Well, that'll be a fun game. Jim Harbaugh, what a shock. He's back in the league, and his team is in the playoffs. This is what they do all the time. And so you saw all the lineups, and the best is yet to come, right?
Yeah.
And we're on Saturday night. We're on Sunday night, or in the morning if you look at it early Monday morning. And then we're on after divisional. Then we go on ESPN regular TV for the championship game, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. How about Week 18? Game balls. I think you're looking on your home turf, aren't you?
Boom, down in Tampa where I'm from. Anytime, Boom, that you set a milestone from a future Hall of Fame, I got to give Mike Evans a game ball. Absolutely outstanding, Boom. 11 straight years, over 1,000 yards, unbelievable. He was Jason Light's first draft pick. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, Boom. So great job, Jason Light. Today, Boom, 9 catches, 89 yards. He was targeted 14 times. And then in the end, the entire organization knew what was going on. They figured out a way to get him the last few yards. Mike Evans, game ball, well done. There's a spot in Canton waiting on you, son.
So the last quarterback drafted first round, would it be okay? Okay. He's in the playoffs. Daniels, rookie in the playoffs. Bo Nix, Denver in the playoffs, and then some. Almost 500 yards against, I know the Chiefs had some, but so what? Nix, 29 touchdown passes this season. We told you second best among rookies. He runs, he throws. They're in the playoffs. And as you pointed out on the show, Booger, it's icing on the cake, but they're not just going to be happy with that. So what a performance to lead. And that raucous crowd, mile high. I mean, they're not going to see the team again. But, boy, did they send them off. They rolled the Chiefs. Well, they almost beat twice this year. Let's not forget that with the field goal.
And, Boom, when we start to think about the young quarterbacks, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, Jaden Daniels, Caleb.
Caleb was all right.
He's all right, but these young quarterbacks that we're starting to see, Boom, it's amazing. I think that as the older guard has transitioned out, Brady and Manning and all those guys are gone, it's good to see this younger generation start to come.
Year one doesn't prove it. May looks okay with New England. So, I mean, of course, McCarthy was hurt. So the 5 guys in the first round, it's not like everyone said about Bryce Young, and that proved to be wrong after a year ago, right? Well, look, we've talked about this game enough. It's about time we showed you what the heck happened. Minnesota at Detroit for, if you will, all the marbles. Sunday Night Football. Scott Van Pelt with the highlights. Scotty, thanks for doing this all year for us.
Honors mine, Boomer and Booger, and this game for everything in the NFC North and the NFC. The winner gets the 1. The loser, man, you got to hit the road and be the 5 seed with 14 wins. Well, for Sam Darnold, he was stuck on his uniform number, which is 14, because this man went nuts. Jahmyr Gibbs puts the Lions in front with the first of his touchdowns. Lions roar. They're up 7-0. This is the story of the game. Minnesota not just inside the red zone or the 10, inside the 5, and Darnold can't find anybody on 2nd and goal. 3rd and goal. Trying to find Hawkinson, no, overthrows. Kevin O'Connell says, let's go for it. We got to match the aggression of our opponent. Looked like he might have had Addison top of the screen, didn't go there. Overthrows Justin Jefferson. Lions take over on downs. Ensuing Lions drive, looked like maybe Detroit got away with grounding in the end zone, but is it a ball don't lie situation? Goff has the ball tipped and picked off by Ivan Pace Jr., and the Vikings have an opportunity to get a lot more than 2. But as it turns out, on a double move, Darnold misses Jefferson, overthrowing him again. They get 3 out of it, and it's a 10-6 game at halftime. Early 3rd, once again, Vikings from the 2. It's 3rd and goal. Darnold, nowhere to go with the football. This Lions defense has been banged up. They lost more players in this game, but time and time again, they turn the Vikings away. Darnold rolling, trying to find Addison, and they can't find him. That's 3 points on 12 goal-to-go tries. That is the story of the football game. But Jared Goff winds up, looks deep. This is reminiscent maybe of that Houston game, just trying to take a deep shot but gets picked. Remember that one? Got picked 5 times and they still won. Here, Minnesota gets the ball back, but they only are able to get a field goal. Now the difference in this one, 4th and 2, and what happens? The Lions have the touchdown pass. Goff to Gibbs, 17-9. Goff here, oh, what a big play. Andrew Van Ginkel, very nearly, as he's got the play diagnosed. Could he have gone all the way the other way for 6? We'll never know. And instead, guess who? Gibbs, again. That's 1, 2, 3. He's not done. Lions get the ball back, and the dam has burst. There goes Gibbs. Again, a gain of 47. He had 139 rush yards. And a couple of plays later, it's fitting that he takes it in for his 4th. He had 3 at Alabama against Tennessee, but here in the NFC North title clinching game, he holds up the 4s. St. Brown throws the crown on his noggin. And Detroit, who hasn't had a bye since week 5, that's 3 months ago, they get to rest and wait to see who their opponent will be. They roll over Minnesota. Despite having 14 victories, Minnesota has to hit the road. They will visit the Los Angeles Rams, who they lost to earlier in the season on the same field at SoFi. That is the game that we will be bringing you to wrap up Super Wild Card Week. That's Monday, 8 Eastern, 5 local on ESPN.
All right, again, Scott, thanks for doing this all year long for us. That was, well, for all the marbles. The schedule's out. Let's see what happens. Like we like to say, it's all over but the shouting, and the shouting really begins as we start the playoffs. Can't wait. The real season begins. Thanks for watching a regular season of NFL Primetime all year long. This is Booger McFarland. I'm Chris Berman. Sometimes I've screwed up the names. Thanks for watching, and Chris Brennan, good luck as he moves on in greater things. Aaron going to move in and producer. We're not worried about a thing. Chris, you left it in good hands. Thanks to everybody. Jimmy Ryan, our director, and we could go on and on and on. It's a labor of love for us. Hopefully it is for you as well. Thanks for watching. See you in the playoffs.